Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of 1000 Gurus. My name is Jerry Cruz and I am your host for the show. So today's episode features my friend Yuki Noda. Yuki is a passionate dancer, model, and certified yoga instructor with performances for Insomniac events like Electric Daisy Carnival, Beyond Wonderland, and Escape. She brings an electrifying energy to every stage. Alongside her dance career, Yuki has worked with various brands on commercials, prints, and music videos, showcasing her versatility in the industry. With a deep commitment to both physical expression and wellness, she inspires others to embrace movement and mindfulness in their lives. So in this episode, we talk about a lot of things like her growing up in Japan and eventually getting used to the culture shock of moving to the US. We also touch upon her philosophies of how to navigate a working environment by separating the professional from the personal. And then finally, we touch upon meditation, self-love, and improving your mental health as a way to improve your physical health. And another thing to note, English is not Yuki's first language, so you might notice that there are some points in time where she kind of struggles a bit to find the right words to say. But, I really commend her for trying her best and also doing a fantastic job in passing along her insights despite it being a bit challenging. And eventually we kind of get around to it and sync up on the main ideas. So I think it's still a very good conversation. I think it was a great episode. Overall, really fantastic. And I hope you guys enjoy it as much as we did recording it. So without further ado, please enjoy my conversation with the wonderful Yuki Noda. All right. Welcome to the show, Yuki.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. I definitely wanted you on for season 1 of my show because I think you have a very interesting story, career path, and you're also one of my favorite dancers. Really talented. I'm sure people will check out in the links and videos and whatnot if you check out Yuki's Instagram. She's an amazing dancer and she teaches. But she does a lot more than that, so I'll go into how we know each other. I believe we met in 2022, right, for K Factor.
I guess.
Yeah, we were both
Yes.
in Untitled, which is a dance project team, cover team in SoCal. And we were the first people at practice. I remember because, there's this girl standing outside the studio. We're either early or on time.
Yeah.
And I was like, hi, I'm JR. And then we met and then we danced. And then I found out later on that you were also on Cabo Modern, which was the team I was on in college. So we danced, same team, but different times. And then I noticed that you weren't just a K-pop dancer. I think most people in the K-pop community, mostly they start from K-pop, right? But you have other dance background.
I had, a lot of dance background. I started dancing when I was 3 years old. 3 years old.
Yeah.
Yes. I started with ballet. And then after that, I did it for 9 years, pretty long, but I guess it was not for me. So I was like, I'm going to change it. And then I changed it to hip hop. And after the jazz, modern, and house, rock, I did kind of everything.
Everything.
And then I'm into Vogue and walking now, and also K-pop. So I really love dancing, moving my body. And I think it's just, I don't know, I just like to move a lot, but not practicing a lot.
Yeah, moving, not practicing. Yeah, I don't know. You don't know this, but our audience knows this, that all of my season 1 guests are people who I've either danced with, know through dancing, or are my students, so dancers, but we're all talking about different topics, obviously. And then Yuki is one of my favorite dancers because, as you can tell, she's very versed in a lot of different things, and you can kind of tell when she dances. So more into your background. So aside from what you've listed, I know that you've worked different jobs, but then I remember when we first met, you were like, oh, I'm a model or actress and stuff. And I was like, I thought that was interesting. And then you're from Japan.
Yes.
If you don't know, if you're just listening to this, you probably can't tell. If you're watching this, maybe you can guess. And then you also are a yoga instructor, right?
Yes.
And then now we dance on the same project team, K&D. And so we'll see each other often or for different projects, things like that. So so I know you've done a lot of things. Anything else you want to add into that?
Everything you said is right. Sounds right. Yeah.
We'll get into specific jobs in a bit.
Yeah.
But so I wanted to start with your origin story, right? So I know that you were born and raised in Japan.
Yes.
So could you walk us through where you grew up, what was it like, and then walk us through how you came over here?
Okay. I was born in Osaka, if you know, right? West side. West side. I really loved there. I was living there until graduate high school. Until then, I was like thinking like, oh, maybe I would just live in Japan forever. I just want to like dance, maybe act. And I really love being on stage. So I was just doing that whole my life. But my sister and also, she's also a dancer, I have wanted to go to.
Her name is infamous in our friend group.
But wanted to go to America. And then the timing was perfect because my dad also was offered to come to US. So they decided to come to America. But I didn't want to.
So like when you graduated high school, and then so you weren't going to college or anything, but you were kind of figuring out what you wanted to do?
Yeah. I decided to come to US while high school. I'm in the high school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. They went to America when I was in high school, like the second year or something.
Okay. They meaning like your parents or your dad or your
my
sister?
Parents, my sister and dad first.
Okay.
And after that, they went. Like everyone went to America, but I just didn't want to go. And I wanted to wait for graduating high school because I love Japan. Yeah. I wanted to learn at the time. But we have to decide like which college you're going, which university you're going. But I didn't have anything. Like I could have just studied and stay in Japan, but I wanted to do something different. Like I wanted to challenge for myself and then, like dancing. And I really love musical theater. So that's why I was like, okay, maybe I should go to America because, they're there. And then I came here. Yeah.
Okay. In terms of school, so you like theater and things like that. So then when you decided to come over, what was the plan at that point?
At that point, I was going to take the musical theater major. Because I was like, I really love to dance. I really love to sing. And I actually was in drama major in high school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it kind of makes sense. I wanted to try something new. And yeah, that's what I was thinking. I don't know how to say. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say.
So also, you're the oldest of three, right? So you have your younger sister and then your younger brother.
Yes.
What is that dynamic like? I also have an older sister and two younger brothers, actually. So I can imagine. I know you and I know Saki.
Yes.
So I'm curious, what is your sibling dynamic like?
You mean like how we are different or like how we are?
So, okay, I'm basing this question off of stories that I heard from Saki. It's like, Yuki will just tell us what to do and then we'll just do it because she's
bossy.
I don't want to say it. I was also thinking full of herself. No, I don't know. That's what she said.
I was like that. Yeah. I think I was like the one who
you're like the actress, the star.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I want to do this and let's do it. But now I think it's kind of shifting to Saki. She is the one who says like, let's do it. And she's the one like who just, say everything to me and my brother. But I think at the time I was telling, I don't know, because I feel like I was really close with them, brother and sister, as a friend, I feel like. But I really didn't do anything as a sister. I don't think I was like acting, oh, I'm your sister.
Oh, like nurturing sort of?
Yeah.
But more just like friends?
Yeah, more like friends, I feel like. Because I feel like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like we're just like friends or, we're just like really having fun. I really love to talk with them. So I think at the moment, I feel like I was thinking like they were best friend or something.
So yeah, I haven't met your brother, but I know, obviously I know Saki. So the vibe I get is like, you're like the older sister / like the star. And then like they kind of follow you. And then Saki is this ball of energy who's like super loud and also like, a lot of fun, but also, I'm sure she looks up to you in some sense, but then I think she might get some of those qualities from you, or maybe it's like a family thing where it's like you guys are both kind of stars, like you guys both do dancing and Saki does or some modeling or has done like some modeling stuff.
Yeah, Saki does some modeling.
Yeah, so I feel like it almost feels like a thing in your family where you guys are like that, or at least you two. But I just thought that was interesting.
Yeah, that's true. I think she's following me.
Right. Yeah. So then after you moved here, so you were a drama major? And then so what happened after that? And what school were you at?
What do you mean, like after graduate high school?
Oh yeah, after high school. Yeah. So
Oh,
you came
okay.
here for
Well,
college.
after I came here, I took the musical theater major, right, at the community college. And I immediately went to the audition, the tryout for the musical theater show. Yeah. Because I was like, okay, I can make it. And I did it, which, yeah.
Nice.
But at the time, I didn't actually learn English properly. I mean, I did actually. I did learn properly, but and we have a English class in Japan, like at school, 6 years. I learned grammar, everything.
Like during high school.
Yes, during high school, everything, but I hated it. English class was the worst class for me, and I didn't do anything until I come here. I mean, I learned a little bit. I prepared, but at the time I couldn't even listen. I mean, I could hear it. I could understand it, but I couldn't talk.
Speaking was
Yeah,
more difficult.
so it was really hard because especially being in musical theater, we have to sing, we have to say a line.
That
But
makes sense.
yeah, I was doing different things. But yeah, my goal was like to be able to have a conversation in English and also learn like a dance skill and singing skill, like in the musical theater. That was the goal.
So how did you? So you could understand English, but you couldn't really speak, and even just talking. So then, how did you? What was the process of overcoming that so that you can be more comfortable on stage? What did you do?
I was recording my classes, like rehearsals, voice wise. And whenever I go to class or maybe hang out, I always like record. I sometimes never listen to it because it's like hours, but sometimes I go back and then listen to it and kind of manipulate, mimic people.
Oh, okay. So
Like how
listen
they're
to
talking.
the talking, like the conversations, and trying to copy that.
Yeah. So like I try to go to like parties or try to go to like hang out because they were like, you do you want to go? And I'd be like, yeah. And every time I go there, I won't be like talking that much. I'd be like, yeah, you know what I mean? But I try to listen more than speaking, and I practice at home. And then being on stage, like I didn't talk that much because like I was ensemble. So, but singing is different. So I just had to listen a lot, the same as like the talking. I had to listen the song and then I sing along with the song, and then record myself if the the accent was accurate or something like that. And I tried practice, and yeah, I think I did. I was not that nervous on being on stage, so I just kind of have to like practice. Yeah.
Okay, so it was kind of like trying to speak like the tone and accent of English, but you already had an understanding of like understanding what English is and like kind of to say the words, but it was just like practicing it, like doing it.
Yeah. I always recorded myself.
Yeah.
My talking, my like lines, like the speaking voice and singing as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's funny because it's like I can sing in Japanese. Obviously, I don't speak Japanese, but because I just listen to songs like we went to karaoke before, right? I'll sing TVXQ or Toshi songs Japanese, and I'm like, I think my accent is fine.
Yeah.
I just sing it just like it sounds.
Right.
But I'm like, I don't know what it's saying, but it sounds great.
I mean, you have to kind of understand like what they're saying, right? Like when it comes to acting, and I was like that too. Like I was like just kind of remember everything, but then also I don't know, musical theater. There's like a choreo, and it's like same thing as choreo. Like I had to like break it down the words, and we have to sing together. So it has,
Yeah, so it's a more dynamic than just like talking or something like that. So I want to go back to, so you moved to the US and you're learning English or you're learning how to speak it. What is, and I think you know this, but so I went to Japan recently just for a vacation, and it was great. Yeah, and it was super fun. I highly recommend it. It was my third time there. So the people I was with, they're like, oh, what are you going to do? I'm like, well, I did a lot of stuff that I wanted to before. So this time I'm just going to chill and follow everyone. So it was super fun. Oh, actually, I got this shirt too.
The One Piece one, right? I should have wore it today.
Yeah.
I know. I was like,
I've been trying to wear as many One Piece shirts as I can while I was recording. So if any One Piece fans, check out these videos.
I should have. You should have told me.
Yeah, it's okay. Next time. So yeah, anyways, so culture shock. I wanted to ask, what was it like moving from obviously Japan your whole life and then moving to the US? Obviously the cultures are very different.
Right.
But I'm sure that you were like exposed to American media. That's what a lot of people when they come to the US. It's, oh, I've seen movies or TV shows.
Right.
But how was it like moving over? What was that transition?
I actually cannot think of like examples right now because I'm Americanized already.
She's an American girl.
But
Valley girl, guys.
but I had a lot of, culture shock. Really. Even just like a supermarket. Because I also was cashier in Japan. Oh, actually, but you you shouldn't work as a high schooler. In my school, yeah.
Oh, you're
my
not
school,
supposed to work.
You're not supposed to work,
I
yeah.
see.
But yeah, I did. And
She broke the rules. She's a rebel.
a little bit before graduating, but I was doing a Japanese supermarket cashier. I do it really quick. So it's like really fast and like really neat. And then that's how it works in Japan. If I don't know if you recognize, but people are really quick and then really, like nice. But in America, it was really slow and I had to wait in a line. There's so many people there, but then, like one like cashier is open and I was like, what's going on? I was like, I couldn't like really wait the long, like for cashing. I was like, what are they doing?
Why is it taking so long?
Yeah, I was like, what? It was like really, really culture shock for me, but now I get it. And also like,
you're used to it.
Yeah, I'm kind of used to it, and I feel like it's cool that you don't need to rush it. So I was like, yeah, but it was like a huge thing, and that was really really a culture shock. In real life, everything was different.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I know as an American going to Japan, you notice that the way everything operates is a lot faster, more efficient, and it makes a lot of sense. Obviously, you're like, wow, this is cool. I remember going from Japan and then the subways and it's efficient and it's fast and you can get swept away.
Right.
Then I go to Korea and it's definitely not as efficient. And I was like, and then you go to the US, I'm like, wow, everything is, like you said, very slow, very inefficient, not organized. Even Tokyo Disney Sea, so organized compared to Disneyland here. Oh my gosh, it was like night and day. So if you like convenience and efficiency, you'll love it over there.
Yeah,
and then
for sure.
there's a lot of, I don't know, there's just a lot of things that you're like, wow, someone thought of this and it makes sense. Why don't we do this?
Right. It's so good.
I imagine coming here and you're like, why do people do this? We're going backwards here.
That's so true. But also, I understand. People want to have their time. But also, I love the Japanese style too. But yeah, I'm okay with it now. Yeah, I feel like
you're a Cali girl now. Cool. So let's pivot to, so you moved to US and then like you're learning English and then culture shock. So then you mentioned that you've had various jobs over the years. Yes. I was curious if you had any came to mind that were like the most interesting or some that you learned the most, like you gained a lot of experience from that people can learn from.
I actually, I really love performing and I don't know, like some interesting work.
Like a performance work?
Performance work. Oh, okay, yeah. One thing I really liked about being in performer as the Insomniac, the company.
Oh, Insomniac?
Yeah, the EDC, everything. They were like, okay, don't post. I don't know if I can say it, but yeah, you shouldn't post like anything like back. You shouldn't post that process of being character. Oh, so like, you cannot post like with the, like wigs off or maybe just like a one parts came off or maybe just... You know what I mean? You cannot post the background of the process. And I actually, the Insomniac entertainers, the boss, she is really good. She said that don't break the character because that means you're going to break someone's dream. So I was like, listen to it and I'm like, yeah, that's so true, because, you don't want to break someone's dream for sure. And then
like the illusion of what the character is. Yeah.
I'm like, it's really tough work actually being in character because we have to walk around like hours in the heels, like high heels, and you have to still be in like character and then walking a lot, dancing, and it's really fun but also tough. But sometimes you want to be like so tired. Right. You want to be
just
like
relax and break character.
Yeah, but if you do that, then be like, oh. I don't know. I don't want to break that.
Right.
And then that was kind of interesting work. And then also I really loved it because I feel like people forget that, you are making someone's moment or you're making someone's dream. You don't know. You never know you never know who is your follower.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So
who's watching you? Or
yeah. I really that words made me think, oh, yeah, I shouldn't be doing whatever I want. I should be thinking of what people thinking or
Your
what
audience,
people are expecting or something.
like their experience.
Yeah.
So it's not about you, but it's about performing for the experience of others.
Yeah. So that was good experience for me. Yes.
Do you think that translates into how you dance too, and how you do other things? It's not just yourself, but also what is the experience I'm creating as a performer, as a whatever I'm doing?
Wait, I didn't get the question, so I was thinking about
it. So you said it was a very good experience, and you learned that it's you don't want to break someone's dream or that experience.
Right.
Do you think you take that into everything else that you do?
Yeah, I think so. I really want to do something people likes. I mean, so of course I want to do something I like too, but also I don't want to just be oh, I want to do this, so I don't want to do this for you or something, I want to create something for people. I want to create, I want to help people. Also, I want to create something people wanting from me.
Yeah.
So I think that words made me think something people forget. So I feel I want to,
Yeah, I like that. Because art that performers is artists. We're creating something and it could inspire someone. And it could be just for you, but also typically art is shared with other people.
Right.
So we have to consider how it's being received.
Right.
And then also putting our best into it, like you're saying. It's more than just, okay, I'm just doing this thing.
Right.
More than that.
Yeah.
Any other jobs or experiences that you feel really shaped you or that you learned a lot from?
It's not a work. When I was middle school is a 6th, 7, 8, 9, 6th grade. Middle school?
Something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
It changes sometimes.
Okay.
6, 7, 7, 8, 6, 7, 9.
It's middle school, right?
Middle school,
okay,
yeah.
just making sure.
Yeah.
When I was in a dance musical class in Japan, and there was showcase every year, every winter. They do a musical, a type of show with dance, hip hop dance, but no singing though. But instead of singing, they do a dance, a song, and then they had a showcase every year. I tried out and I auditioned, and I made it, and it was good, and I was actually chosen to be a lead. And I was okay, yeah, I'm gonna, do my best. And I was working hard, and then going to practice rehearsals. And then at the time I lived far from the dance studio. So I had to leave early the school club every day and then go to the studio 4 hours to go there. And I was practicing. But a month before the show happening, they decided to drop me off.
Oh, man.
As a supporting role.
Right.
And I was oh, what was the reason, Though I don't know. I was what was the reason?
Yeah.
And then, also I was middle school. I was oh my God, why?
Rejected.
Yeah. And then they told me that you were yawning and at the practice. And then it was a not big studio, but then you had to be a little bit sideway because when you were off stage you don't want to be shown, right? You don't want to be seen. So I was trying to be really skinny, being like this. But then some people thought I'm leaning to the wall or putting on the table to be like this.
Yeah.
So they didn't like my attitude with that.
I see.
And then also they said that they are taking money too, so you have to be more professional of acting. Maybe I was bad actor. I'm not sure, but
maybe I was terrible.
Maybe. But then I was, one time they chose me as a lead. So I was
You're at least good
thinking
enough
about
to
it.
get chosen.
Yeah, so that's why I was like thinking that actually made me really sad. That's why I feel like I'm still doing dance because I was like at the time I was thinking I worked so hard, but I don't know why they made it like this. And then, but I mean I did it. I did learn new parts, everything, and I redo everything, and I tried, and then the show was really great, but that makes me think, oh, I have to work more, work hard more than I think. I feel like because people sometimes cannot see what I'm doing, or maybe I work hard, but then I'm doing something wrong. So like that experience made me think, oh, I have to sometimes think what I'm doing, if it's right or not, or I have to step back to see what I'm doing. That's what I learned, one thing. And also one thing I learned was like, if you want to be, I don't know, if you want to be like, actually, I don't know how to say it. You have to have a like power and also like skills and an attitude to be really like in a good position. I don't know how to say it. If you want to be chosen by some people.
Okay.
I don't know how to say it.
Power, attitude, skill.
Right.
Just be amazing.
Yeah, basically, you have to be perfect.
Right.
I mean, you don't have to be, but if you were, if you want to, if you want to accomplish something, sometimes you really have to be really picky, and then you have to really dedicate your work, and you cannot be like, oh, I'm working hard, so I'm good. You cannot be like that.
Complacent, but always have high standards. And do everything with excellence.
Right. So that's what I learned from the experience. So I was like, yeah.
So since middle school, you're like, never again.
Yeah, I was like, never again.
High standards.
Yeah, I was like, no.
I see. I see.
So that was really bad and good experience from my life. The anger was kind of made me motivated. The anger motivated me to be like perfect or maybe like a good performer. So I feel like that's why I still like doing this. But I mean, I'm not mad at it anymore. I'm like not. I'm over it. Yeah, for sure. I think of that. I feel like when I think of because I was thinking about the topic we were talking about, and then that topic came up really quick. The experience. And when I look back, I felt a little bit different way because I was like, oh, maybe that's why I'm still doing this. Or maybe I was like too like bossy at the time, or maybe, I don't know. I actually don't know because I feel like I haven't changed.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I think about that experience, I feel like, I have to be more in taking care about myself, skill-wise, attitude-wise.
Right. So it was definitely like a turning point.
Yes, I think so.
Changing point for you. Makes sense. Let's see. I wanted to ask, you talked about the leading role in the dancing thing. There's a prompt that you put into the form, which was like separating work and private mode when you have something to do with good friends or bad friends. So I don't know if you want to clarify what that means.
Sure. Okay, so I think it's really hard to work with friends. As a K&D, we sometimes fight. Yeah. Not fight, but
like normal friends do. Like they have disagreements.
Right. We talk a lot, right? We discuss what needs to be done, right? Some people can't do that, like separate things. I feel like I learned this one from like high school experience, but you have to. I'm just talking about work side, but if you want to work with your friends, you cannot be thinking like, oh, she's talking about me like personal. I don't know. If I say something like, oh, blah 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 blah, like maybe if I talk about you like badly or like
some sort of feedback or something.
Yeah, feedback or something.
Not taking it personally, like she hates me just because she's giving me feedback.
Yeah, so I don't want to be like that, right? Like you don't want to break a friendship, and you don't want to break friendship, but also you want to work with them, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like it's really, really important to separate the feeling or maybe the way you are talking, because sometimes people get really confused.
Right.
And then take it to the point being like, oh,
where it affects the relationship.
yeah.
Because there's a professional mode that we're like coworkers.
Yeah.
And then some people might make that
Yeah.
to, oh, we're friends. And if you say something negative to me now, like you don't like me, now we don't like each other.
Right.
But it's just like, it's just a work thing.
Yeah. So, if you are working together, the goal is like to make a project looking good, right?
Yeah.
And not being a friend at that time. So I think it's really important to separate those stuff. And then I think I meant even though you don't like the person, sometimes you have to work with them, right?
That makes sense.
Also, I don't want to be thinking like, oh, I don't like this person, so I don't want to work. I don't want to do anything for them. Or I don't want to be like that. So even though if there's some parts that I don't like of the people, if I have to work, I will just put my feeling aside and then I'll work as a coworker, like really nicely. And I really want people to think about that too, because some people might hate me or something, and then people be like, oh, I don't want to work with you. I don't want people to be like that. So I feel like if it's work, let's work together. We can do this. And if it's friends, just be nice friends.
Yeah. I like that a lot. That's a really good takeaway. I think it's also because you obviously come from a professional performance background, so you know how to separate that.
Right.
Whereas, a lot of people we dance with or people in our dance community, it's usually starts with a bunch of friends, and then it's hard to detach the friendship from the working relationship. So it makes sense. So it's try to, when you figure out what you're doing together, and try to keep it professional,
right?
Because obviously no one wants to ruin their friendship.
Yeah, I don't want to be like.
And the same token, you're saying like, okay, even if you don't like someone, you can still do work together,
right?
And I think that's also one thing that I admire about you. We talked about this before, where it's like you can compartmentalize things about people in a good way. Meaning, I think we talked about this where it's not everyone is all good or all bad. Obviously, everyone has their shortcomings. Exactly. Yeah. Everyone has their shortcomings, and we can't just judge people as like, oh, this person did something bad, so now they're all bad. I can't talk to them, because we all mess up and we all do bad things. Yeah. But doesn't mean you can't work with them. And you can still work with people and be a good person, be respectful, and put on a good show or a set or do really good work together. So I think that makes you more like versatile and like a more valuable person to have on a team if you can have that mindset where it's, don't take things personally and be able to separate that.
Yeah. I think it's really important.
Yeah. Definitely. I like that a lot. Cool. So let's transition out of that. So now our third topic, which is self-love, spiritual affirmations, and health and well-being. I know this is one of the things you said you wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
So I guess aside from the topic itself, like what are some of the main philosophies or affirmations that you live by? Like what are your main philosophies or affirmations that you use for yourself?
Oh, okay. Yeah. I do meditate recently, not long time ago. I started again. I feel like talking to yourself is most important things to do, in daily life.
Really quick. So what is your meditation like? And is it a talking to yourself sort of meditation or is it separate?
I meditate two ways. I feel like, like basic meditate, you sit there in a quiet place or maybe like comfortable place and I close my eyes and just be like focusing on my breathing and, whatever comes up and I accept whatever thinking or what I'm feeling or everything, a feeling, whatever things I'm worried about, like everything, whatever comes up, I take it and let it go with the breathing. If it's like calming down, like calming
down your thoughts.
Yes.
I know what you're saying because so for the audience, right? I think what you're trying to say is, and I've learned this too, where some people think meditation is like trying not to think, but actually meditation is accepting those thoughts and then letting it go like a river or letting it, my mind's wandering or there's like a monkey and it's just jumping around. Right. Okay, I accept the thought and let it go. So it's the practice or the exercise or like the flexing of the muscle of the letting go part.
Right, exactly.
So it's always like going back to that center. And then I do the same thing too, which is like the breath because you're just focusing on like the in and out. Right. But other people have mantras or they say something or stuff like that, right?
Yeah. I used to do mantra when I was in the yoga training. but not anymore because I kind of forget.
Oh.
But I think it's really good. Whatever fits you, I think it's really important. I think to me, the meditate could be just like 5 minutes or maybe 10 minutes, like short one, just to see what you were thinking, how you were actually like feeling, wanting or something, like to see, what's up, like to talking
Just,
to
like,
my
check in with
body.
yourself.
Yes. And then I feel like, because like I said, long time ago, like the anger motivate me, blah, 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 right? But you don't want to be controlled by your emotion, right? So that's why I feel like it's really important to know what you're thinking and then accepting all the stuff. So that's why I feel like,
So meditation is like a way for you to get in touch with yourself
Yes.
and also not let your emotions control you, but
Mhm.
be more aware.
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to ask, what do you get out of meditation? I know it's the emotional thing, but how do you feel like it's changed you, or what are the benefits, or how do you feel
I feel like I'm not.
as angry?
Yes, I think so. I really think so.
Just letting go of the middle trauma.
I'm still being like really. I don't know how to say in English.
Say in Japanese.
Kireru,
Oh yeah.
kireru, like
Kireru.
easy to get mad,
Oh, okay, yeah.
like that kind of person. I was like that.
Like a trigger emotion, like very quick
Yeah, like
to-
quickly. I mean, something like that. I was like, yeah, when I'm mad, it's really quick, and then my attitude and then like everything is what kind of changed. But then right after, like I said everything, blah, 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 and I'd be like, calm down. But I was like that long time ago. But I feel like after doing the meditate or like talking to myself, I feel like I'm not mad, like being mad as before.
So it's kind of like controlling your emotions,
Yes.
basically, or like calming yourself down.
There's a reason why you are angry all the time, I feel, because it might be because of the person, like something you were said, or maybe worse, or I don't know. But most of the time, I feel like the problem was in myself or something. Because maybe some people will say, oh, you're like ugly or something. And I'd be like, I mean, everyone will get offended for sure. But be like, I know the reason. I know that I'm ugly, but hearing from people makes me mad is if you know the truth of yourself, but then if you are denying that thing, and if people are talking about it or like to fix it, in your heart, you know that they were saying it right, but then you are denying it.
Oh, okay. So it's like denying the truth
Yourself.
or denying yourself.
Denying yourself makes it more like matter or like frustrated. I don't know. I don't know how to say it. I'm sorry.
I think I kind of get it. I think it's a universal thing, right? Where it's like someone says something, but then you deny it, and
Right.
it's frustrating.
Yeah.
It's also because what angers us is when expectation is not the same as reality,
Mhm.
or like what we thought was true and it's not
Yes.
true, and that makes us mad.
Yeah. And
So-
also like you are not accepting yourself. So that's like you're getting mad, right? So I feel like,
that's true.
yeah, that's why I feel like you have to think before you're going to be like mad about it. You have to think if it's their problem or my problem.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
I feel like that's why like, I take time to think daily life. I try.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, taking
Not
time
all
to
the
think
time.
sounds like good advice.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
You should think more often, guys.
Right.
So then, I guess I'm assuming you got that from your yoga practice, but what were the main influences for you to focus on your own mindfulness or like your mental health or mental state or controlling your emotions? What influenced you to want to do that?
I think I really like myself. I think everyone knows about it.
It's an inside joke. Everyone knows that Yuki loves herself.
It's just because I don't think I'm a cute girl or I don't think I'm like, the best or something, but I just like myself.
Respect. Everyone should like themselves.
Yeah, because,
Yeah.
like it's different topic now, but if you don't like yourself, I feel like nobody's going to like you, So that's why I feel like I try to like, love myself. And I forgot the topic. What was it?
No, yeah, that's fine. No, I like it. We're talking about like self-love and
Right.
affirmations and mindfulness and stuff.
Yes, I got into that emotion because I'm learning essential oil aromatherapy. And then I was really into the healthcare. And then I realized that every emotion, whatever stuck in your mind, cause the problem, the body issue, like a sickness.
That makes so like it starts with the mind, and,
Yeah.
like, the emotional state,
Yeah.
and it makes you physically sick.
Right. Because like I talked to some people who had mentally sick or either physically sick. I think both are, I think you've seen like many people, but when I actually like search and also look up the sickness, I don't know,
Like,
symptom?
symptoms?
Yeah, symptoms. The problem is actually being in your mind and then also, your lifestyle too. But then like in Japanese, there's a yamai wa kikara, like the words yamai wa kikara, meaning is your sickness is from your emotions. Yeah. So there's a word like that. So I was like, it was kind of clicking. I was like, oh, because your mind is not health, that's why everyone's going to be sick. So that's why I was focusing on yourself before you doing the medical like
treatments,
therapy.
or
Yeah,
therapies.
yeah. Before you doing that, I think you should take care of yourself, the mind, because I think it's true. Because sometimes like you see the people who is like being sick, but then you don't know why. And sometimes it's not food, sometimes it's not like whatever, like
External
DNA things.
or
Yeah,
genetic.
but if you like really look at it, you couldn't say whatever you wanted to say in behind, and
I
then
see.
like
It's like something
that's
that they're holding in or
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
repressing.
Yeah, because there's actually like the examples out there. If you really couldn't say how you feel or like how you're thinking,
Like expressing yourself.
yeah, if you couldn't do it, this one, what's it called?
Stomach,
When you breathe, it's not
your lungs, diaphragm, breath.
diaphragm.
Diaphragm.
Yeah, will be like not moving because you're not saying anything. You cannot, and then that makes you like feel like, oh, I can't breathe or something, and then that cause more like problems,
issues.
like more
Gotcha.
issues. So
That makes sense.
yeah, I read that, so I was like, oh, emotions first.
Right.
Yeah, that's why. I'm into more like self-care.
Yeah. I love that. I think it makes a lot of sense. Like I'm a believer in everything external that we are, it starts from our mind, right? Like
right.
I see if, you see someone aesthetically, like just on the outside, like how they dress, how they look,
Right.
how healthy they are, and how much energy they have.
Mhm.
That's all a reflection of their mindsets, of how
Right.
they respect themselves, their own bodies, how they prioritize their own well-being and health.
Right.
So if you see someone who like looks like that, I mean, maybe it's not always a fair general assumption, but it's okay. You can tell what someone's mental state is based on how they look.
Right.
And if someone like looks like, they have everything together, I can assume that they probably have good mental health.
Right.
And I like that too. It's obviously we're not doctors, but I agree that I definitely think there's some truth to that where it's your mind can create problems in your
Right.
body. So
I think
definitely
so
at least
too.
start with the mind and not
Right.
like medications or
Yeah.
something.
I don't like medication. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
I think most
Yeah.
people do or they shouldn't.
Yeah.
So any tips for people who want to get into like self-care or mindfulness or like working from the inside out? Say someone wants to do that. They're like, okay, where do I start?
I think maybe starting meditation is actually hard because, oh my God, sitting and then closing my eyes, it's actually
Sitting and
really
doing
hard.
nothing is so hard,
It's
guys.
so hard.
Try for yourself for 20 minutes,
So-
5 minutes. It's hard.
What I was doing was like I have the paper, like a white paper, whatever, nothing, like just paper with the pencil, and I'm just gonna write. Maybe you pick a topic. What I was doing was like what I want to do for my life, or maybe you can be like, how am I feeling? Am I good or something? I just pick one topic and then just write it down, and then whatever comes up, just write down everything, and then circle it, and then connecting to like other stuff. So for me, it's like organizing your brain. So you just have to let everything go and visibly, like you or whatever you're thinking, like feeling, whatever what you want to do, everything, just write it down, and that also inspired me that moment, and then that goes back and forth, and I feel like that process will help you to think and then know about yourself because you don't know yourself.
I mean, that is,
I don't know how
you
to
don't know
say it.
yourself. That's a good start.
That's okay.
Yeah,
I know.
You don't know yourself, but I know what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
Like, getting to know yourself is important.
Yes.
Like self-awareness
Yes.
and knowing your thoughts and then trying to
Yes.
reflect
Yes.
and think about it.
Because
So you know
I feel like everyone knows me more than me.
yourself.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say, because I know myself, I feel like, but sometimes what people see and then what I see is different. And then I think people knows about me more than me because everyone see the different faces of me. So you have to also check. But yeah,
Like skin back or like just keep
feedback
reflecting.
also, yes. But then also like when you want to focus on yourself, you just really have to be in a moment, think about yourself, what you really have to do or what you really want to do, write it down, organize it, and then that helps. It's like a meditation. I think it's the same thing as a meditation, feel like. So that's what I was doing when I didn't do like meditation. That makes me actually like really calm, and also, oh, okay, I know myself, I feel like.
So it's like a journaling sort of exercise, but like a sort of brain mapping and writing down your problems.
Right.
It's interesting because that's also the number one thing I recommend people when, you know, when we're thinking about something and we have a problem and we want to talk about it, and that's good because it helps you organize your thoughts to talk. I always recommend you should start journaling.
Right.
I've been journaling for the last, 15, 20 years.
Nice.
And it's almost like a form of therapy or like you said, kind of like meditation because one, the ultimate goal, I think, purpose is to understand ourselves and to know ourselves. Because once you know yourself, your compass is oriented and you know which way to go. But also, it's a lifelong process. So it takes a lot of intentional work to start to know yourself. So you have to start journaling or meditating or whatever to know yourself.
Right.
But once you know yourself, like you said, you'll probably be more at peace, happier. And you can tell, like, when someone is saying something that's not true and it doesn't affect you as much because you're like, I know the truth. I know who I am.
Right.
There's a lot more peace and calmness in knowing yourself.
Right. I think so. I really think so.
Yeah, I like that. So journal, guys. I recommend journal, do some brain mapping, meditate. It is a small step. Like,
it's
like you
really,
said, I say the same thing. Like, literally just write whatever you're thinking.
Yeah.
And the act
That's
of putting it on the paper takes it off your brain and it organizes it. And for me, that helps out a lot.
Right.
I guess, it gets to the point where some people are like, oh, so how did that thing go that you were worried about? I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm totally over it.
Yeah.
Now, 'cause I journaled 3 times about it, and now I can talk about it. But yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Anything else on mindfulness before we change topics?
Just get away from social network.
Oh
I mean, I do that.
Yes.
I mean, I post TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram, everything. I do that, but I think it's bad because I think it's taking my time, and also like I'm looking at my people's like posts and it'd be like, oh, everyone's like having fun and not me, or like maybe, oh, everyone's doing great things but not me. But I feel like everyone's of course looking good because they're capturing the best part.
They're curating it. There's the highlights.
Yes, it's good to have it because you want to make more social, business wise, whatever. I don't know.
Like
you
network
can use
connections,
it.
and a platform to put artistry and stuff like that. Yeah.
Right, but also
there's a dark side to it.
I'm kind of addicted right now, but I feel like that's why I feel like I'm like sometimes like depressed. So that's why I feel like trying to get away from there and try to focusing on my like journaling or maybe meditation or maybe workout or whatever.
Anything else?
Yeah,
more
anything
than
else.
Social media, honestly.
Yeah, like being in the moment is really important.
I agree with that. I think for my own life, if there's one thing I can change, it's never having to be on social media. So many times I want to delete Instagram. I'm not on TikTok anymore. But unfortunately, a lot of our friends, we use Instagram as messaging, so it's to connect. So it's like now I have it, and even if I delete it, I have to like download it because I need to talk to people.
Right.
But yeah, I agree. I wish I could just disconnect from it.
I know.
But it is a platform for creators like us that are putting out good work and to inspire people and whatnot and to do positive things. But there's a dark side to that.
Yeah.
Cool. Ready for rapid fire questions to wrap it up? All right. So this is the billboard question.
Okay.
It is, if you could put up a sign for millions of people to see, what would it say?
Be in the moment.
Be in the moment?
Guess.
Yeah. That's good. That's
Love
good
yourself.
Right on theme. If you could give your younger self advice, what would it be now? Any age.
Do journaling every day.
Do journaling every day?
Yes.
Nice. I probably would do the same thing. If you start early and you do often,
better,
you'll be so much happier.
I was like, I should.
Yeah. It's okay. Start now, right? Any habits or routines that are key to getting the results that you have?
One more time.
Like any habits or routines that you love doing that make you happy, keep you sane?
I think I really love teaching yoga, and I love using essential oil. So I really love the morning yoga classes. Like daily.
What do you like about teaching yoga? Is it just like being in that space, or is it the actual act of teaching someone else? Or
Being in a place too, but after I teach yoga, I teach yoga, I feel really good. Like you can imagine, it's really different. Like how you're feeling, and everyone's connected. I feel like in the moment, so that's why I feel like I love that habit. Yeah,
it's like a very like
routine.
spiritual experience, and it feels really good, and it feels like right. Like it's not like
I'd be like,
you don't need
have
drugs
a good
or anything.
time. Yeah,
It's just like a nice thing.
yeah.
That's one of the things for me personally that I want to do. Like the habits, it's working out and journaling and stuff like that.
Yes.
Yoga is the thing that is like on my list of like my top 7 things I want to do forever. But yeah, I'm not into it yet. Might solve my lower back problems. Who would you call successful? So if anyone comes to mind, you're like, oh, I think this person is successful. And then how do you define success?
It's actually hard because I've been thinking about it actually. Every time I see numbers, I used to be like watching numbers, million followers. But I feel if you like what you're doing, if you feel happiness from your like work, I think it's a success. I feel like.
So feeling happy from what you do, and enjoying the work and process.
Yeah.
Cool. Is there anyone who comes to mind that you know personally, or maybe someone you don't know that might be famous or something that you think might be successful that we can point to as an example?
I'm actually not sure. I'm the person who doesn't have bias.
Anyone that you know personally that you feel like, oh, I think this person's successful, like my friend or family member or something like that?
No. Maybe it's you, feel like?
You.
Oh, not me.
You love
not
yourself.
Me. I mean, I love myself, but I feel like I don't have a goal because I didn't set a goal for this year, and I feel like I'm burnt out.
I see.
And I actually was really doing my journaling recently more because I kind of lost myself. I feel like, so that's why I was like, it was hard to think about topic too because I was like, oh my God, it's not my like perfect time. It's like worst time, like in a life.
Like, I'm not in a good space right now.
Yeah.
I don't know what this is all about.
But yeah, I feel like everyone who's having fun.
Right.
Yeah.
Wait, so do you think I'm having fun?
Yeah.
Okay.
And also like you're doing like new things, and then it's really good because I really want to do something new and do that, but I'm being too lazy recently.
Oh.
So I think you're doing great.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's like I think, like you said, people should try new things and do things that they want to do or they're interested in. So I try to be like, okay, well, why don't I just be an example? Do what I want to do. But I'm also just as lazy, and I'm just on social media just as much, if not more. Like I said, I want to delete it so bad, but I can't.
Me too.
But thank you. If time and money weren't an obstacle, what would you be doing now? So if you had unlimited time and money, what would you be doing?
Oh, traveling.
Oh, of course. Where would you travel?
Don't say Japan. I know. I haven't been Japan. So I would say Machu Picchu.
Machu Picchu? Why?
I love Machu Picchu. I don't know.
Oh, yeah?
It's more like...
You've been there before? No.
No.
Oh, okay. So you just like, oh, it looks really pretty.
I really like the look. I wanted to go there. I've been wanting to go there since like middle school.
Yeah.
I saw the photo and it looked, I don't know, unreal or something.
Yeah.
Surreal. I don't know.
You want to like ride an alpaca or something? Like, is that what they do? They ride
I don't
those?
know.
They ride. I feel like they ride something. They ride up the hill. If not, they carry themselves.
Yeah, I really want to go.
Yeah.
I feel like I want to go to more closer to nature, not the city. I feel like the crowd makes me a little bit sick.
Yeah.
I mean, I like theme park, so
Right.
I would go to theme park.
Theme park and then nature.
And nature.
Nice. Or a theme park in nature.
Yes.
Yeah, I like it. I think I'm the same. How do you spend most of your time?
When I'm off, I feel like I'm reading manga.
Oh, what manga are you reading?
I'm reading One Piece.
Yes.
The Shonen Jump app, they have a lot of manga. I really like Chainsaw Man, Dan Da Dan, which is new one, and then Oshinoko.
Oh, Oshinoko,
like
it's on my
everything.
list.
I really love it.
Nice. I think you're Japanese.
Yeah, I think I'm Japanese.
Yeah. Shout out One Piece. Oh my God. I love that so much. So how do quick tangent. So sometimes we make fun of Saki because she doesn't watch One Piece. And I'm like, Saki, you're not Japanese.
Yeah,
I'm Filipino.
Filipino.
So she thinks she's half Filipino, half Japanese because she dances.
Right.
Yeah. But anyways, so on that note, favorite books, movies, videos, or articles that you share or recommend the most? So like media or anything.
I don't know the title in English, actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I only read
What is
Japanese
it
because I don't
Japanese?
like reading.
It's a manga?
No, it's actually like a book.
What's a
I don't know what's it called. It's not novel. I don't know what's the category,
Okay.
but it's a Japanese letter.
Yeah.
Yeah, reading it, and it's called. Can I look
Yeah.
up?
No, you can send it to me later.
Okay,
I'll put it
yeah.
in the notes. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
the
It's
book that
this,
Yuki is
it's
referring
this.
to, it's this
Because
book.
yeah, if you translate, be like, oh, I understand.
yeah.
Yeah, I think you would like it. Yeah.
Okay. I'll put that in the
Yeah.
notes. Okay. All right. So we're at the end. So ending questions. I always like to end with gratitude. So Yuki, what are you grateful for?
Sorry, I was not paying attention.
She's like, oh, we're done. What are you grateful for, Yuki? Gratitude.
Oh yes, having a relationship with everyone, like being in good friends, and I'm happy that I have you as a friend as well, and I really appreciate it for whatever happens in my life.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was thinking of words. I don't know if it sounds right.
Just for the things that are happening in your life, or
Yeah,
things that will happen?
yes, whatever he said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, what he said. No, that's good. You're pretty much everything. Do you have any final ask for the audience? So asking them for something, or any final like takeaways or lessons you want them to have from our conversation?
Love yourself. I feel like
Love yourself as much as Yuki loves herself.
it's not the thing like being like shy about. I feel like you can love yourself. Yeah.
Definitely. We make fun of her about it, but honestly, that's the right thing to do.
Right.
You should love yourself. All right. So where can we find you? Like social media, websites, email, anything? Like if people want to see what you're up to or reach out?
You can DM me the Instagram,
yeah.
Yukingram. I think it's the easiest way to connect. And if you want to check out my TikTok, that's gonna be same thing. And for the YouTube, I have it as Odoru Yogini, which means dancing yogini. So
Yeah.
if you come to Instagram, you can know everything about me.
Nice. Yeah. And we have all of our socials will be linked in the show notes. All right. Well, that is it. Thank you so much, Yuki.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
And then, so for the audience, thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Just a reminder to always be kind to other people and especially yourself. And remember that you can always learn something from someone. You just have to take the time to listen. So thank you guys for tuning in.